And take 65. So, not sure again where I'm going with this or what is happening. I'm a creator. I like art. I like to create. But that's really strange in our society, I think, because you think you ask somebody, hey, are you an artist or are you a creator? The Bible says we're called to create, not consume. And for most of my life, I was absolutely a consumer. Maybe not of just material items, but I was a consumer of envy, greed, jealousy. I was a consumer of the oh woe is me's, and filled my head with a lot of nonsense, like people fill their house with a lot of nonsense. And over probably the last, I'm going to try and stop doing this because I think it's very annoying. Over the last probably 10 years, I began to create artistically and let that flow through me. I used to love art class. I did pretty bad in school. I was not a good student for many reasons. But I loved to create. No matter what class I was in, I'd be drawing or writing things that had nothing to do with the class. But I loved to put what was in my head or my emotions out into the world. And unfortunately, in our society, you ask people, hey, are you an artist or a creator? Everybody's, oh, no. Because in here, they're comparing themselves to what they see out there, which is often nonsense, or even an artist who is really good at, say, painting. Well-known artists, Monet and other ones, Picasso. Look at their art. It was horrible. It's terrible. There's nothing good about it, and people pay millions of dollars for it. It's like they had a nightmare and woke up and with one eye open started to paint. That's not good. I mean, to me, I'm being judgmental, but to me, that is not good art. I should probably start this over, edit that out, but I'm not going to. That's not what. I mean, art is. They say art is in the eye of the beholder. It is what you see. I heard recently on a podcast an artist. I was listening to him, and a museum no, it wasn't a museum. It was a business. It was a very is a large business, and it was a Fortune 500 company, and they paid this man, this well-known artist, several $1 million to do a collage, I guess, or a piece on a large wall. And they said, the entire wall is yours. Here's the money. We know it'll be amazing. Do what you want. And he put a dot in the center of the wall. And he said, and he labeled it like, easiest money I ever made. Right? Of course, the corporation wasn't happy. This is 2025 this was done. Maybe 2024. But yeah, art is in the eye of the beholder, I guess. Some is really good, some is really bad. I guess depending on the eye. Anyway, I started creating. And in my mind, I think I'm funny. And so I started writing down everything funny that I thought was funny over probably the last 10 years. And I started writing down everything that made me happy in life, and every piece of advice I could remember receiving from my parents, and whether good or bad. And I started to see other people and their artwork, and if it intrigued me, then I'd pick it up and be involved in it, and I wanted to try it. Some I got really good at, according to me, and some it was a no-go. So, for instance, these t-shirts, it says, I speak Jesus. It took me about 6 years, but I know a really good, an amazing t-shirt artist. And I liked what he was doing, and I seen it. I checked out the process, and I was like, I can do that. And so I started it, and I like it. I still do it because I can create whatever I want. I have the materials, I now have the know-how, and I'm very good at it now because I've been doing it for 5 years. first 4.5 years were nothing but failure, struggle, failure. And I'm talking about failure like machines breaking, things not printing, things not working out right, smudged paint, just bad stuff. And then I started to get into beekeeping because a friend of mine was a beekeeper, and I was like, oh, that's amazing. I think I can do this. And I got you can see a little bit of honey there. I'm a terrible beekeeper. I put more money into bees. I could have bought so much honey by now, but I still do it like a little bit. It's not a lot of work, but you got to have a lot of space, a lot of good space. Other art forms that I have, I think I said the comedy, the jokes, etc. Life advice, writing down life advice from other people's advice to my own advice, experiences. Most of my advice comes from failure, and all of it comes from listening to other people, though. And then spending a lot of time by myself, figuring out life. Not like, oh, I got to figure out who I am. Yeah, of course, that's part of it. But they call it the awakening, I guess, the enlightenment, soul searching. I had to figure out what was really going on in this world. And what captivated my attention was YouTube, because I started listening and watching other people and what they were doing, and even making videos. It took me like 3 years to learn how to make videos. Oh, it was miserable. It was truly miserable. I'm not a good student. I'm not a good self-taught student. I really need somebody to say, hey, do this, and this, and it's easy. But when you have like 10,000 things in front of you and you got to figure them out, it's definitely not easy. But I self-taught, and I figured out how to edit videos. I've got many copyright violations. I didn't even know it was a thing. But I got my way through it, and I learned so much about life. I learned about fruits, vegetables, plants, seeds. If you look at something, I wanted to know how and why about it. I started doing comic art. I collected comic books since I was a little boy. Never interested in reading them, but I liked the pictures. I loved the artwork. The storyline didn't really matter. I loved the artwork. This is where I keep a lot of my art supplies. And just it's no big thing. This is a floorboard, but I would cut up the comic books and I would put them Modge, and make up my own story, make up my own art line. I had 30 of them. I gave most of them away. I like to do art, but I don't sell it. I've sold a couple pieces. I used to do wood burning. I don't know if I can turn this enough to... I have 2 pieces left. There's wires everywhere back here, and most of them are not long enough to reach anything. But yeah, there she is. So that's a pallet. I used to go around behind dumpsters and stuff and get pallets, bring them home and sand them down. And then I found a pallet company, Gonzalez Pallets in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And I made him a piece, and I asked him, I was like, hey, can I have some of your pallets that you don't use or something, the defects? And he was like, absolutely. And so I'd get hundreds of pallets from him, and it cut out so much of the work for me. But I started that about 18 years ago, and I stopped it probably about 15 years ago. I didn't do it very long. I made good money on it, though. Not for what it's worth, though. I mean, a piece like that would probably take me 90 hours, 80 hours. And because it's a wood burn, it's very slow. It's slower than a tattoo, to be honest. I've just always really been involved with an interest in creating. So I asked people, what do you create, or what's your creation? Actually, backing up just a little bit, the guy that I got the t-shirt idea from, he is a tattoo artist also. And when he checks in, we don't talk often, a couple times a year, but when he checks in with me, he's always one of his first questions are, what are you creating? How's your art? What are you working on? What are you working on? That's what he often says. What are you working on? I also do music, rap music, because I loved rap. I grew up in the 80s and 90s, and rap before NWA was great. It was fun. It had meaning. It had flow. It was kind. It wasn't angry and violent. It was manageable. And then in the 90s, things changed, of course, because of not just NWA, society. Our government put crack cocaine into the streets and put all of their jobs overseas. And everybody went broke. And rap got nasty. It got really violent, and gangs started to flourish. But I've always liked creating. I've always enjoyed creating. I've always enjoyed putting what is in here emotionally out there. I've never shared it, though. And this is my first essential, real experience at sharing it, now that I've kind of locked down and locked into how to utilize videos and how to share videos, because I don't really go out other than work. I'm more of an introvert. I used to be extreme extrovert. I mean, if there was something happening, I wanted to be in the center and mingling. Over the last definitely 10 years, I'm introvert. I am more withdrawn from society because I don't like what I see. I don't like how it makes me feel. But I still create because I want to put good out there. I want to put enjoyable out there. So it doesn't matter what you're creating. We're here to create, not consume. The Bible says that we are creators. We are, God is the creator, the original, the first, the number one. We are his children. We are the souls of God, and we are here to create friendship, to create love, to create enjoyment, and to share that. But we are absolutely, for the most part, distracted by other people's creations, movies, TV, alcohol. If you want to drink alcohol, drink alcohol. But why don't you make your own? Figure out how to do it. Figure out how to make it. We withdraw ourselves from society because there's so much of come on. TV and movies anymore. Ever since the 90s, it's done. It's all the same thing. It's just a different color character. The jokes are the same. The punchlines are the same. The plots are the same. The endings are the same. Nothing has changed. Nothing at all. It's just been redone and not as good as the first time. The graphics are better, but the acting is worse. And it's acting, people fall in love with these celebrities and these actors and these musicians, and they're like, oh, I gotta be like this, or I gotta do this, so I gotta run to the store because that's what this person wears. No, they don't. They wore it for the commercial because they got paid $10 million to do it. They have no interest in that. They just do it because they were paid to do it. Oh, I gotta drink this because this is what this athlete. No. No, he doesn't. He was paid. And now you're paying. And that's what I found that I really hated about this world. When I really started to find out that it was all fake. The world is fake. It's completely fake. Actors, players, etc. There was a game show on TV when I was a youngster, back in the 80s, late 70s, early 80s. It was called Press Your Luck. And it was a box screen, and these flashes, they went all crazy all over the screen, and boom, you hit a button and it stopped, and whatever button it stopped on, you won. But if it won on a button that had what they called whammies, this little thing that looked like, I don't know, some kind of little creature, then they would cartoon it out, and they come and steal all your money. It's called whammies, and so it's press your luck. Well, I seen a YouTube clip, a documentary on a man who obsessed over it. And he sat at home and watched it and watched it and watched it. And that's all he did. And he learned the pattern. There was 4 patterns. That's all, 4 patterns. And he learned it. And he got on the game show and he destroyed them. He took everything and they couldn't stop him. They didn't know why they couldn't stop him. They didn't know why he was so lucky pressing his luck. Every once in a while, he'd lose it all. He was playing the game. He knew what he was doing. And he destroyed them. And they're familiar with it. And I think the show stopped after that. But they're all fake. They're all rigged. It's like a carnival. You go to the carnival, the basketball's this big, and the hoop is this big. I mean, come on, what are your chances of hitting that? And there's a little weight on this side of the basketball, just a touch of one. You can never shoot it right because it'll always blah, 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 blah. Everything's rigged. It's rigged against you. It's rigged to take your money. And you're like, oh, I can do this. But it's inside of you. It's eating at you. I can do this. I can do this. Just one more quarter. I can do this. Right, one more quarter. Nowadays, it's like, oh, $10 more. $10 more. I can do this. It's nonsense. It's not real. But yet we are so driven to have that experience. And when I learned all of this, I was like, you know what? I'm no dummy. I don't want to have any part of this. I wouldn't want to hang out with somebody that gave me this. Just a second, somebody's at my door. Yes, come in, please. Hello? Yes? I'm recording. What do you want? Quick. This is what happens, I'm telling you. Your guess is as good as mine. He opened the door and just like stares. But yeah, and I'm not going to edit that out because that's part of this journey. Everybody wants to have everything perfect. It's got to be perfect or I'm not putting it out there. And they get frustrated and angry. I know because that was me. I used to hang a sign outside my door, do not disturb. I used to yell at people, stop yelling, stop. You know, if they're out there yelling, then I'm like, I can't do this because I can't focus. Right now I got this headset on, I got classical music playing in the background. So I can't hear, it's summer, so kids are home, family's going on, life happens, trucks are driving by nonstop, live out in the middle of nowhere, and what are you doing? They know I'm in here. God says that this place, Earth, if you're a biblical person, I'm a Christian, I speak Jesus. But this is a demonic world. We are put here. Everything is a test, including this little video here. But this is Satan's kingdom. This is the devil's kingdom. We're here to see if we can manage life living in the devil's kingdom. And when you are into yourself, like I am right now with this video, and there's an interruption, do I get angry and lose my mind? And I used to. That's not good. It's terrible. It's still supposed to be fun. So no, I don't do that anymore. Interrupt, whatever. I'll keep flowing. I got a couple notes up here. But that's it. We are here to create. We are called to create. It's 95 degrees out today. It's June. It's the end of June. It's 95 at 11 a.m. It's hot. I did have to shut the air conditioners off because then there's just this huge white noise in the background and you can't really pick up audio. But there's so many things that disrupt our creations and what we are called to do and what we are supposed to be doing. We're trying to learn, and the best way to learn is through failure. You learn by what not to do. I wanted to make videos, so I bought this. I used to just have no mic, then a better mic, and then I was like, how do these people get to sound so much better than my video, than my audio? Because, you still want to have good audio sound. Nobody wants to listen to a tin can. I started with just the camera and then just the computer. And then I found out, this microphone has a lot to do with it. And so I couldn't afford a really great one, so I bought this one for like $50, which it's okay. I'm content with it. Not the microphone itself is 50, and then this thing is 50. But the microphone, you got to be right here talking. The microphone weighs like, I don't know, I'm going to say like 12 pounds. This thing's heavy. It's not really 12, probably. It's probably like 3. But then this boom here, they call it a boom, a swing arm, which I don't want to touch because if you touch it, it breaks. And it was $50. You see this orange line right here. Because it's so heavy and it was being held on by like this cheap little piece of plastic. Day 2, it was like fell off, broke, non-fixable. Tried to fix it many ways, couldn't. It took me like 3 weeks to figure out, and I just tied a bunch of string around it. And that's where we are. It is what it is. I could have made it better, but I was like, you know what? I'm not going to let this distraction be the one that ends me. We are called to create. We are called to put ourselves out there for others. We are called to, knowledge is an interesting concept. We are called to learn. And through learning means you take in knowledge. But if you do nothing with that knowledge, it is useless. Wisdom is your ability to utilize that knowledge and put it out there and share it and give it to other people. There's so many people that have so much knowledge from experience, I don't really like knowledge from books and stuff because, could be real, could be not. I like knowledge from experiences because that's definitely real, You fall off the roof, break your arm, tell that story. That's some real knowledge right there. What could you have done better? Why did you fall? What happened? How'd this happen? What happened? How'd you get it healed? Tell me about it. This is knowledge and wisdom here. But to not share our knowledge is worthless. You just have random stuff in your head. There's no point in it if you don't share it. And it's so great to share knowledge, whether good or bad. Elementary knowledge from adult people is kind of hard to consume. Like, hey, I went and I rode this ride and, okay. That was a great story 35 years ago. I shouldn't have said that. Share your knowledge. But it is hard to listen to adults when they have no true knowledge or wisdom. And it's like, okay, what's wrong here? What's going on? How come you're not clicking, And the word I really can't stand listening to people talk about a movie over and over. I hear it all the time, in different crowds. I'm not singling anything out. I don't know very many people. But Game of Thrones. Oh, Game of Thrones or something like that. And I'm like, what? I've never watched it myself. But people will reference movies so often, it's quite painful. It's like, you know what? Go out there and experience something for yourself. Or people that, continuously take photos of their food. It's difficult. That's great. It's a good start, especially if you made it. If you made it, that's awesome. Now share that. If you put it together, share it. If it's food on a grill and it's Friday again, you're grilling again, come on. Throw some vegetables on there. Mix it up. Do something different. You got to expand. Creation should grow, and that's the whole point. It helps us grow. It gives other people ideas. But I know people that throw burgers on the grill. I follow them on Facebook. Every Friday, same thing. Steak on the grill. Steak on the grill. Steak on the grill. Steak on the grill. And they even put it out there. Hey, it's Friday. Steak on the grill. It's like a cheap laugh. You don't want cheap laughs. You want good laughs. You want laughs that are worth it, that are worth their weight. Because this world is quite miserable. If that's all you're doing, it becomes tough. But all right, I'm gonna end this because it's becoming more of a rant at this point. I apologize. I'm gonna leave all this setup just where it is, and we'll come back and do another video. And at some point in time, I'll hopefully load them up. Peace and God bless.